I'm going to talk about accountability. So this is not a scheduled event. I'm just hopping on because I had a intuition of sharing my experiences and my thoughts for this week so far. We're already at Thursday. Like my mom always says, don't wish your life away to Friday. But when Friday comes, it's always a little bit more exciting. But the weeks do really fly by so fast. So don't keep wishing and hoping for Friday and the weekend because you got to enjoy Monday through Thursday. And as I reflect back on this week so far, accountability, the word like screams in my head. So I always talk about things like one word, like authenticity, visibility, consistency, service, value. Phrases like be the giraffe in the room, like be the giraffe that only other giraffes can see each other and all the other animals are like over here doing their own thing, right? You always want to be looking up. You want to be scaling your business. So I like talking about all this stuff. Being fearless. Failure is not fatal. Today, my like word of the week, my theme is accountability. So thank you for any of you who are just hopping on and deciding to watch this. I'm super excited uh, to have you hear this message today. So why is accountability important? Now, there is productivity accountability, and there's also emotional, like how you treat people, that kind of accountability. So there's all different kinds of moving parts and layers to accountability. But the bottom line is the only person that you can control is yourself. So the more you hold yourself accountable for how you manage your time, how you treat people, the way you lead, the more you succeed. Having a daily routine, being consistent, that all is under the umbrella of holding yourself accountable. And I love this topic because, like I said, you can only control yourself, your own actions, your own productivity in the day. It is so difficult. Like, I'm a mortgage lending coach. So I know from experience, you cannot I can't force any of my students, can't force anybody to do anything. All I can do is lead. And if something doesn't go right, or if I don't get enough booked calls, or I don't know, my show up rate, and when I was first starting wasn't what I wanted it to be for master classes and things. And it's awesome now. I'm able to break through barriers, and I just love the amount of people that show up for my master classes. But I had to hold myself accountable. Like, you can't force anybody to do anything, but like, what role did I play in, and what part did I play in maybe creating something where not as many people showed up or not as many people invested to move on to my 3-day event? How could I have communicated my message better? How could I have served more? How could I have loved more? Like, marketing, remember, for any of you who are watching that are business owners, entrepreneurs, or even if you're in a W-2 job and you're happy where you're at, you still want to understand that accountability, how you can lead more, how you can be more present, and how you can market yourself better. My favorite definition for marketing is this is Dr. Joe Vitale, sharing your love for a product or service with the audience that wants to hear about it. And when you shared it with the audience that didn't want to hear about it, you felt bad, they felt bad. So you got to find your message and your voice and hold yourself accountable to doing the research on, like, what do you really want to share? How do you want to market? You want to show up. Okay. So why does this matter? Accountability matters because we all have the same 24 hours in a day of how much we can serve and love people and how productive we can be with our time. I always use the 111 is my favorite magic angel number. And I always use this reference. Tony Robbins has like 111 magically, because I love that number. So I remembered this story. He has 111 businesses in the same 24 hours that we have, right? He is definitely in a place of service and love and caring and value and showing up for people. So that's how he holds himself accountable. He also, that he manages his time well. So if you want to improve your relationships, you want to make more massive impact, and you want to improve your bank account and work up that money monetization multiplier, you have to be wildly aware of what you do in your 9 to 5. So we're going to speak to, because I love talking about business, mortgage, real estate, speak to mortgage lenders, business entrepreneurs. So we're going to talk about just for business, because I don't want to go into the whole life coaching 100% stream, but how you show up in your life and your business is all really one and the same. You don't just you're totally on top of things at home, but you're like lazy at your job. You're probably on top of things in both areas. So that's good. Congrats to you if that's you for holding yourself accountable. So it increases your productivity and efficiency. It improves your problem solving and decision making skills. So instead of placing blame, if something happens at work, like a link's broken, for example, with my team, what if I said, like, oh, I love Kyle, he's my go high level expert. And if I said, like, link's broken, it's all his fault, like, he's fired, he's out of here. How can I manage this? How can I handle this? What workarounds can I do? What link can I use? Let's say my calendar link was broken. So what link can I use? Luckily, I had a Calendly link. So while my team was messaging him to fix my Go High Level calendar link, I just popped in Calendly, right? Problem solved. I didn't panic. I certainly didn't let go of my favorite Go High Level expert. And I did a workaround, but I had to manage my own emotions. I had to make sure that I didn't place blame. And look what happened. I was able to keep running through the event. People were able to book their calls, to get on with my team and make magic happen. So placing blame and holding other people accountable is not where it's at. You do it first with yourself, and then you figure out how I can be a better leader. Now, this can go into like delegation and like holding someone accountable for their actions and all that stuff, but we're just talking about like myself, right? My time, my impact, my emotions, managing my temper. How can I do that to create better business, right? So let me see. I'm just gonna go to the chat really quick here because somebody said like struggling this week. Yeah, died all of a sudden, letting them myself. I love it. So perfect. I love. There's no such thing as coincidence, right? Coincidence. Every time I say something's coincidence, and then another thing happens, another thing happens. I'm like, okay, thank you, angels, thank you, God. I can't just keep saying this is like a coincidence. So if you want to improve your problem solving skills, your relationships with others, your employees, your coworkers, your family, your friends, hold yourself accountable, right? If you misspeak, you got to say sorry. So I had an interesting situation where I had to say I'm sorry and figure out what role can I play in this to improve my business, to improve my impact. So I was down at Primo's in Danville, California at the bar and grill. And we were watching the Warriors game. And this is a while back, probably about a year ago now. And my friend said, hey, Tiff, you should go meet this person, X, Y, and Z. We'll call him Joe. You should go meet Joe. You guys are like in the same world and think you'd be great together. So I went over to him and had my beer in my hand. And good thing I didn't have a shot and a beer that day. I would have been a little bit more ornery. So good thing I just had my little IPA. So I said, oh, hey, Joe, I'm Tiffany. I'm a mortgage lender and mortgage lending coach. And, I love serving. I love working with people. And Barbara said that we'd be a great match. And he said, oh, wait, what do you do? And I said, oh, I'm a mortgage lender and mortgage lending coach. And he said, oh, so that's why she wanted us to meet. I'm a realtor. So what are you going to like call me every day and ask me for coffees and lunches and like ask me for a bunch of business? And I was like, huh. So I could have went off. I could have held him accountable, blamed him for what he said. But instead, I was like, how can I problem solve? How can I hold myself accountable? And I thought, you know what? Listen, Joe, I'm sorry. I know that lenders in our community have been taught to chase, to blow up your phone, beg you for business, coffees, overpromise, underdeliver. We haven't trained like professionals. So I'm doing my best to change that. That's why I stepped into the mortgage lending coaching realm so heavily. So first of all, I want to say, Joe, I'm sorry that happened to you. That's not right. And like I said, I'm doing my best to change it. So I would love to hear your story and what happened to you. And I'm not going to be asking you for a bunch of business. And he was like blown away. I mean, I could have gone off on him and said, that's rude. Don't you know I'm a top producer on this and I'm that, and I'm a leading mortgage coach. But I didn't. I held my temper and I said, I'm sorry. I know, I understand. So I came from a place of like empathy. So that's why accountability matters. Now, overcoming challenges. I'm going to go for about 10 more minutes and this is going to be money. So if you hopped on here, don't go off the page because this is really good information that you want to hear. Okay. So how do you overcome this challenge? If you're like, okay, well, I know why it matters. I know it's important. She's told a few stories on this, but like, how do I overcome this? Because this is something I experienced in my life. So two things. One of them is like I have a daily sheet that I use. And if you want a copy of this, just ask for permission into official mortgage and mindset. It's my private Facebook group. It's free, obviously, Facebook group, Official Mortgage and Mindset. Go ahead and like you can type in the comments or you can just do a post like I'd like your what you celebrate replicates form. It's a daily sheet that goes over celebrating what you're grateful for. So you hold yourself accountable for like all the great things. You praise what the great things that you've done. What are your big rocks for the day so you can manage your time best and then celebrate your wins and successes. So you fill out this sheet and you hold yourself accountable to this every single day. That's being proactive. Now, another way that I hold myself accountable, I will use what's called a success filtering question. So I will say, is this the highest or best use of my time right now? Is this the highest, best use of my time? So if it's scrolling on social media, am I doing with intention? Am I going on there to go see what Ed Milet's doing, GoGo's real estate, what Tony Robbins is doing, Dean Graziazzi, some of the Jen Gottlieb, the people that I love to follow, Denise Donahue, Mortgage Nerd, what a Dave Savage. I could go on and on. Like I have like my favorite 10, 15 future friend list that I love to see what they're doing. So I'm scrolling online intentionally. So my success filtering question that I use to hold myself feet to the fire is, yes, this is a great use of my time because I'm going on to get inspiration, to find out more about what's going on in the market. If it's not a good use of my time, I don't do it. Never, let me tell you this, never scroll aimlessly on social media ever, ever, ever again. Don't go on, land on your ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend's page on accident. I'm totally guilty of that. Like 45 minutes went by, and this was about 2 years ago, and I ended up on one of my ex-boyfriends from like, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago on his page. And it was totally unintentional. I wasted 45 minutes of my life. I don't know where I went before that. I don't know how I got on that page. I wasn't stalking him. And I'm like, wow, Tiff, like that was not the highest and best use of my time. So I held my time accountable. So another way to do it, just like from the emotional standpoint, is am I coming from a place of gratitude, from service, from love? Am I being authentic in my message? Because authenticity vibrates at one of the highest frequencies. So people know if you're being a fake, if you're chasing business, asking for business, like being a phony. So I'll always check myself. Like, is this something I should say right now? Is this something should share? Is this a story that's maybe like too heavy? And if it ends up being that, it's like, if I made a mistake, what did I learn from that mistake? How could I learn to be better? So I will ask myself again, like, what role did I play in this? I have this book that happens to be right here. Hold on. Let me get it. It's somewhere around here. Okay. So I'm reading this book and it's, why is this happening to me again? So when you're coming through a struggle, and you could hold other people accountable, and you can be like just freaking out. Why is this happening to me again? And what you can do about it. So you can ask yourself like two different questions. You can either say like, oh, why is this happening to me again? This is just like, this is the worst luck. Or you can reframe that and say, how do I, what am I learning here? Show me what I'm going through this for. What mistake am I going through to be better? Or what am I going to learn from this? How am I going to overcome this challenge? So when you reframe it and you put it in like a more positive energy, like every time, let me tell you this right now. Every time you go through a struggle, every challenge you're going through, be grateful for that challenge. Be grateful. Say thank you. What are you trying to show me here? Like even if it's something with your health, it's like spiritually, what are you getting out of that? Because if you're sick, like one time I was sick and I had a crazy wild spiritual dream, and I don't know, this is my subconscious talking to me, so I'm not going to say that my spirit guide was talking to me. You could go either way, but it said to me like, we had to make you sick because you never stop and listen to cues, and so we had to make you sick. So it's like, whoa, my body was telling me to slow down. So I had to hold myself accountable to the fact that I've got to slow down. I've got to take care of myself, right? So that's how I kind of overcome my challenges. If you're going through a struggle, what are you learning instead of, God, why is this happening to me again, right? So I love this book, and it's not available in Audible. So if you're like me and you fall asleep after like reading 5 pages, luckily this is a really, really good by Dr. Michael Rice, really, really good read to help you, like I said, hold yourself accountable for your actions, for your time, for your emotions, for your responses. I do really feel like at the base level, like, yes, we want to be visible in the marketplace. Yes, we want to refine. We want to know what our UVP is. But really, like, the base is all of that is like, hold yourself accountable. So obviously, how many times can I say that word during this? So cultivate a culture when you lead. Again, the more you lead, the more you succeed. You want to cultivate a culture in your community. If you lead people, if you manage employees, whether it's one employee or 1,000 employees, cultivate that culture. Like my trailblazers, my students in my Ignite Mortgage Loan Originator Academy, I love them. Every Monday, we go on private Facebook group and we all put in one personal goal for the week and one business goal. So we all know what we are going to be doing for that week. And if we post something the next week and it's that same goal, we'll call each other out like, hey, are you ever going to buy those stamps for those thank you cards? Like, and you're like, you're right. That was my goal for last week. So it's really good to be in a mastermind where other people are that accountability and support, because we all need that in life. Like the best of the best mentors hire better mentors so they can be better. That's room to grow. Somebody that's going to go, did you do that this week? You said you were going to do this. Hey, you know what? You got to be more authentic. You said that's one of your messages. Hey, I noticed you said you want to be visible, but you only posted one time on your Facebook last week. You said you want more mortgage loans, but you only did this and you said apply for a loan or visit my website, and there was no service. There was no value. There was just a call to action of buy my thing, right? That's not coming from a place of being authentic. So how do you change that? So whether it's you holding yourself accountable or having a mentor do it, like bottom line is you got to do it. So I'll leave you with this. Like come up with some success filtering questions that you can say. Mine I love is this a highest and best use of my time? Think about like the past. Where's my little my hourglass? Think of an hourglass. I should be more prepared, right? So think about the hourglass. Like the top is the past, the middle is the present, and then there's the future. All you can do is focus on the present. Like, is this the highest and best use of my time in the present? 30 to 60 minutes. Will this create an echo for the future that's going to be productive? It's going to feel good. It's going to make a positive impact. It's going to make someone feel better. It's going to be coming from a place of service of others, and it's going to serve myself, my heart, my mission, my purpose more. So I love that question. And you can maybe make like 2 or 3 more. So is this something that is a money-making activity? So when people start procrastinating, they will, as we're wrapping up, I'm going to speak for about 5 more minutes. Is this something that it's going to get me out of my anxiety about learning something new? So I'm going to procrastinate. I'm going to go fold laundry instead. Well, when you ask yourself, is this a money-making activity? No, it's not. Learning, like right now, I'm doing this live through Restream.io. So I can go on my LinkedIn, my YouTube, my Facebook, my Instagram, my private Facebook groups. I can use that app and I can blast it out everywhere. Do you know how long it took me? How long I procrastinated? I did not hold myself accountable. How long it took me to actually hear about the app and apply it, connect all the things, all the dots, figure out how to get the chat bar, my theme, and all that stuff. I was procrastinating. So instead, to get myself out of that anxiety and pain, I would go do something else that felt good, that was easier. But that's not what's going to help you level up, how that's going to get your message, your voice out to everybody else. So I'm like, at some point, I had to ask myself a success filtering question of like, how bad do you want this? Am I procrastinating? Why am I procrastinating, right? So I am a stickler for time management. I hold myself accountable. Again, if you want access to this daily sheet, you go get that. You print out 30 of them. You keep them on your desk or keep a screenshot of it on your phone and save it in your album. Look at it every day. Celebrate the gratitude. Move those big rocks. And celebrate your wins and successes at the end of the day. If you are a mortgage lender, I highly encourage you to go into Official Mortgage and Mindset private Facebook group or go to tiffanyrosecoaching.com/secrets. My masterclass, it is a 90-minute masterclass. I usually try to keep it around 45 to 60 minutes, and I open it up to a ton of questions where there's insane nuggets of gold where you can hear from a ton of other mortgage lenders that we're all in the same boat together. We're all experiencing the same thing. So it doesn't matter where you are in the US. It's like, Tiff, rates are higher than they were in 2020, and there's low inventory and home prices and this and that. We're all experiencing the same overall US market. So attend my masterclass, figure out how to hold yourself accountable, how to be more authentic, how to learn your UVP, what to say, proper use of social media, one-to-many marketing instead of chasing real estate agents. These poor people, they get chased like no other from lenders. They don't want that. So March 19th, Secrets from the Pro, I'm going to be going over 3 forces of how you can change the game for yourself. How you can build your business. And you know what? I'm going to extend it to business owners because it doesn't matter. My husband, Bobby, he owns 2 martial arts schools. It's all the same stuff. Email nurture sequences, proper use of video, like what's your unmatched value proposition, setting yourself apart differently from the market. So all of that, March 19th, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, tiffanyrose.coaching.com/secrets. The Zoom link, it's free, so don't worry. It is free. And it's, if you want to just go into Official Mortgage and Mindset, my vibrant Facebook group, get granted access. The Zoom link and all the information, there's no passcode, will be on there. And actually, if I can put it in the chat here after I close this out, I will add it in the follow-up comments. So thank you for watching. I hope I helped you with this message today. Go out there. Every single day that you win for the week, then you win for the month, and you win for the season, you win for your future, for years going forward. But it starts with accountability. You can get all the visibility you want, but if you don't know how to say sorry, manage your time, lead with love, like all these things, and learn where your pitfalls are, you can just do it all day long and you're going to be on the hamster wheel. So it really does start with holding yourself accountable. So again, thank you for watching. And next week I will hop on and do another.